Good afternoon, everyone. Welcome to the webinar series of the Touch Clinic on myths and facts of breastfeeding and contraceptive methods for lactating mothers. As you all are aware, every Friday we are conducting these webinars to educate you about the pregnancy. And now coming to the last part of these webinars, we are coming to very important topic, that is breastfeeding. When a woman is pregnant, initial 9 months, she is worried about the pregnancy. And after delivery, believe me, the main problem which most of the mothers face is how to breastfeed. So this webinar will tell you about few myths and facts about the breastfeeding, which I believe will help you in looking after your baby. So pregnancy is a very, very beautiful experience, and having your own baby, your own creation in your hands is one of the best feelings in the world. Nature has made mother an epitome of love and sacrifice, and a woman for first 6 months gives the full nutrition to the child as she does in previous 9 months when she is carrying the baby. Breastfeed is believed to be the complete wholesome meal for the child for the first 6 months of the child's life. Now, breastfeeding is something which is very natural, but it takes time for a new mother and a new baby to get adapted to it. Little patience and little perseverance and persistence leads to a proper breastfeeding of the baby. I have not seen a complete lactation failure ever in my 25 to 30 years of medical career which I have. So if a mother is properly prepared and she has been properly counseled and told about how to breastfeed, then it becomes a very easy and very fulfilling experience. Feeding of an infant or young child with breast milk directly from breast is called breastfeeding. It's an optimal source of nutrition. As soon as the delivery takes place, for first 48 hours, a yellowish color of milk or secretion from the breast come, which is known as cholesterol. Then in next few days, there is a transitional milk, and after 4 to 5 days, mature milk starts coming. If you have a preterm delivery, then it is a preterm milk which is secreted by the breast. Actually, nature has made the body in such a way that body guesses what type of requirement is of a baby. The milk which comes in initial few minutes of suckling by the child is known as fore milk, and the one which comes after is known as the hind milk. Now, why breast milk is important for the baby? Because a human child, if we start from the basic, every milk has different consistency. The milk of cow has a totally different consistency as compared to the human milk. So a human baby, the best type of milk for that child is the breast milk or mother's milk. Many times it is said the cow's milk is for the cows, the monkey's milk is for the monkey, and the breast milk of a mother is for the human baby. So you cannot replace it. And nowadays, it is believed that for first 6 months, only breast milk is enough. You do not even need water or any gutti to be given to the child. It's a complete wholesome milk. We can also store breast milk. Human milk can be stored at room temperature for several hours. Expressed milk can be stored in an insulated cooler with ice packs for 24 hours. Breast milk can be stored in refrigerator for several days at about 40 degree Fahrenheit. It can also be kept in a freezer compartment of a fridge for up to 2 weeks at 0 to 5 degree Fahrenheit. And it can be stored in deep freezer for about 3 to 12 months. Now, preparing a mother to breastfeed, this thing starts right from the pregnancy. It is the duty of the obstetrician and her team to prepare her, as we are doing now by doing these webinars for our pregnant women and for our new mothers. Every woman has to believe in herself that she can breastfeed. It's not a rocket science. At the Touch Clinic, we take these webinars, and after delivery, also our nurses, they help you in breastfeeding and guiding you properly how to feed your baby. Now, preparing the infant and mother is very important. We have to ensure that infant is clinically stable and alert. You have to ensure mother is comfortable and relaxed when you are breastfeeding, and sitting posture is always more comfortable and convenient. The important point in breastfeeding is that baby's head should be in line with the body and whole body should be well supported with the palm. Baby's face should be turned towards the mother and baby's abdomen should be touching the mother's abdomen. If you imagine also, if a baby is feeding and the abdomen is not touching and a baby is just lying like this and baby is turning the face like this for feeding, then how uncomfortable it is for the child. So if the baby's tummy is in contact with the mother's tummy and baby's face is facing the breast, then it becomes much easier for the child to feed. Secondly, breast, as you all are aware, has got a dark pigmented area known as areola. So areola is the place where all the ducts they open, and this is the place where the whole areola should be put into the mouth and not only the nipple. If we put the areola in mouth, then the sucking takes place at the areola, and as a result, this dark part is known as areola, and this whole areola, as much as possible, should be inside the mouth and not only the nipple. Because if baby is just sucking on the nipple, the milk will not come because the ducts and the storage of milk is happening over here. When the pressure is applied on the areola, the milk is released into the nipple, and from the nipple it comes inside the mouth. So if baby is just latching on to the nipple, then baby will get frustrated because the milk will not come. Second, nipple is a very sensitive part and baby has got very strong sucking movements, and that will lead to very painful experience for the mother, and nipple will get cracked and there can be trauma to the nipple. So after breastfeeding is done, then how to dislodge the baby? You should not just pull the baby out because baby creates a vacuum between the areola and the mouth. And if you pull it, again, it will lead to trauma or injury to the areola and nipple. So you should put your little finger, which should be clean, inside the mouth of the baby and then break the vacuum and then baby will leave the latching. So how do I know that enough milk has gone? If the baby is contained for 1 to 2 hours after a feed, if the baby passes clear dilute urine 5 to 6 times a day, baby passes bright yellow watery stool 6 to 8 times a day and is gaining weight after 2 weeks. You have to understand that in first 2 weeks, every child loses the weight and then the baby starts gaining the weight. So if all these things are happening, then the milk is enough for the baby. So what are the myths and facts? The first myth is that nursing rest to your breast can ensure more milk. But more resting your breast can help you to make more milk for your baby. So what does it mean? It means that if many people think that if the milk is not coming, then they should wait more or they should give top feed and the milk will come. But on the contrary, when the baby suckles or baby is put to the breast, the sucking movement of the baby stimulates the prolactin hormone because of which more milk comes. So if the milk is not coming for any reason, you should always put baby to the breast first, let the baby suckle and then you can give the top feed. So that will ensure that the cycle of milk production continues properly. Another myth which many girls ask is that many times every woman cannot produce milk. No, it's not true. In fact, 99% of the women are able to produce milk. The mother produces more milk when the baby takes more. So the body automatically knows that what is the requirement of the child and the milk is produced accordingly. In first 2 days, most of the mothers complain that enough milk is not coming. But as I said, that it is the cholesterol, so it is enough. Even the small quantity is very high in energy and that is enough for the baby's requirement. And always the proper milk letdown begins 48 hours after delivery, and after 48 hours you will see that much more milk is being produced than is actually required by the baby. The breastfeeding changes the size and shape of breast. Actually, it is not very true. Of course, if you have a good feeding habits, then the size and shape will not change. But if you have a bad habit like lying down and feeding and bending, stooping and feeding, then the breast will start hanging. But if you wear good fitting bra, you are sitting straight with a pillow behind your back, and you are supporting the baby properly with your hand and a cushion, And I just explained, you're maintaining a proper posture, then the size and shape will not change. Yes, the breast may become larger after the delivery and breastfeeding, but normally if you lose weight, they will come back to their normal size and shape. The dark pigmentation on areola, it also decreases once the breastfeeding stops, but then sometimes the areola may remain dark and the stretch marks may come, but otherwise there is no major change if you maintain a proper posture. There's another myth that if the baby is sleeping for say 6 hours, you should not wake up. No, a baby's tummy is very small when a baby is born, and it is very small and it can contain only that much of milk which will last for 1.5 to 2 hours. So if the baby is not getting up after 2 to 2.5 hours, then you should always wake the baby and then give the breastfeed. Do not let baby sleep for a long time, 3 or 4 hours, because then initially, because it takes time for you to realize and baby also to realize a pattern. So immediately after delivery, for first few days, do not let baby sleep for 3 4 hours without taking the feed. Another myth is babies naturally know how to breastfeed. Yeah, babies, they have a sucking reflex, but it does take some time for the mother and baby to develop a uniformity and to get accustomed to each other and start proper breastfeeding. Now, there are a few reflexes made by nature. One is the rooting reflex, and other is sucking reflex. So, rooting reflex means if you touch the cheek of the baby with the nipple, baby will automatically turn the head towards the nipple. So, many times, what the girls do, they try to put the nipple inside the mouth, and because of the rooting reflex, the baby's head turns away from the nipple. So you have to touch the nipple onto the cheek of the baby, and baby will automatically takes the nipple. Sucking reflex will come naturally. Sometimes initially when baby is not sucking, what you can do is you can just press a bit of the milk out, and once the baby feels that the milk is coming, then the sucking baby will start sucking more and will not get frustrated. Although your baby is born with these natural instincts, they do not guarantee breastfeeding success. It will take 2 3 days before a proper successful breastfeeding is established. Breastfeeding has to be learned and practiced by both baby and the mommy. Another myth is that you have to drink milk to make milk. No. Ideally, the milk will be produced by the body. It is the more water you take, the more milk is produced. Secondly, many people are not able to take the milk, then they can have calcium, and the calcium requirement is higher in lactating mothers than in the non-lactating mothers. And also, if you eat properly, you drink lots of water, then the milk will come automatically. Mother should be hydrated and nourished to have a proper breastfeeding. Another myth is that breastfeeding always hurts. No, breastfeeding will not hurt if you latch properly, mouth covers the areola, and lips are flanned out. Another very important thing is that initially, because the baby feeds every 2 hours, the skin of the nipple is very gentle. So the old skin comes off and the harder skin comes. So the cracking of nipple usually takes place in everyone in first few days. The best thing to avoid the cracked nipple or to decrease the pain is proper latching on. Secondly, the hind milk. The initial milk which comes is rich in protein. The hind milk which comes later is rich in fat, and it has also got bacterial killing properties. So once the baby has done with the feeding, you can just apply the breast milk on the nipple, and you can lock the door, and you can expose the nipples to the air for a few hours. That leads to epithelialization and the pain decreases. It just takes 2 to 3 weeks for the re-epithelialization to take place, and usually after 1 month, there's absolutely no problem in breastfeeding. The initial problems take place only in first 2 weeks. So what problems can happen in first 2 weeks? Erosion of the nipple, fissures on the nipple, bleeding on the nipple. If there is a bleeding still, you can feed the baby, it will not harm the child. Now, how to get rid of cracked nipples? That you have to apply the hind milk, expose the nipple to the air, and thirdly, do not let too much of milk be accumulated in the breast. Initially, baby is very small, so the milk produced may be much more. So after feeding the baby, you should remove the milk from your breast and you should press from chest towards the nipple. If you have a electronic pump, you can use that, or you can even use a manual pump, but do not let milk be there inside the breast. Otherwise, it will form lump and it will get clotted, and then it will lead to breast abscess. Another important thing is do not sleep with your arms raised above it, because in your axilla there is a little part of the breast tissue, and there the lump will form and it will be painful. Another very important myth is that there is no way to determine how much breast milk a baby is getting. We have already covered it, that if the baby is gaining weight, baby is passing urine, baby is sleeping, then obviously baby is getting enough milk. If you are sick, suppose you have viral or even COVID for that matter, still you can breastfeed the baby. But if you have COVID or viral infection, wear a mask. And what you can do is you can take a shield and you can put it in this way. You can put this in your neck and the sheet like this, so that your secretions do not fall on the baby and you can feed your child. Some people think that if you can't breastfeed, if you have a breast reduction or augmentation surgery, no, modern day implant techniques do not interfere with the breastfeeding. Breastfeeding is the most natural and reliable form of birth control. Yes, it is for first 3 months, but after 3 months, you have to use some contraception. Otherwise, you may get an unwanted pregnancy, because the egg is released 14 days before you get your periods. So you may not even realize and you may become pregnant. Another myth is that baby will refuse feeding from breast if she gets a habit of pumped milk. Babies generally don't have any problem switching between breast and the pumped milk. It is very important not to use pacifiers. Bottles are big no because of the hygiene purpose. If you really want to take some rest, you can use katuri and spoon. Katuri and spoon feeding is very hygienic and babies can take it very nicely. You can express your milk and keep it, as I told in the earlier slides. And then that milk can be given with the help of spoon to the baby. You need to only eat bland foods when breastfeeding? No, because the food you are eating that directly does not go into the breast. So that goes into your stomach. So you can eat whatever and drink lots of water to produce more milk. You can always exercise when you are breastfeeding, or your exercise will turn your breast milk sour for baby is a very, very odd myth, and it is nothing like that. Another myth is that you need to breastfeed every 2 hours to keep your baby's hunger in check. No, nowadays we follow demand feeding. What I was saying earlier was that do not let baby sleep for long hours. Do not let the baby sleep for 3-4 hours. But then you don't have to wake the baby up after every 1.5 hours to feed. Between 2 to 2.5 hours is good, and usually babies they get up themselves. Another important thing is that initially, even if the breastfeed is not coming, always put the baby to feeding so that the milk starts coming. If you have breast infection or blocked duct, still you can feed the child. Another myth is that formula is same as breast milk. No, the breast milk is very important, and even if you give one feed a day, the antibodies they go to the baby. One very important thing which all should know is that do not keep on feeding baby for 1 hour. 20 minutes each breast is good enough, because all the milk comes between that time. In fact, as the time goes and baby gets used to you, even 10 minutes on each breast is good enough, because baby also use sucking reflex as a pacifier. And then what happens that you are always feeding the child and then your posture is bad. So 10 minutes each breast, and then you have to dislodge the baby. What are the benefits of breastfeeding to the baby? Babies who are fed nothing but breast milk from birth through their first 6 months of life get the best start. Exclusive breastfeeding provides babies the perfect nutrition, protection from the respiratory infections, diarrheal diseases, and other life-threatening problems. And it also is the best way to lose weight. The weight which you have put on during pregnancy goes away very easily if you are breastfeeding. So benefits to the mother are that it promotes the bonding, it prevents uterine bleeding, because when you are feeding, an oxytocin hormone is released which contracts your uterus and helps your uterus to come back to normal size. It's a natural form of family planning for 3 months. reduces the risk of breast and ovarian cancer in the mother, and it helps the mother to return to pre-pregnancy weight. So thank you. Enjoy breastfeeding. It's not a rocket science, and it's a perfect way to spend quality time with your baby. And now I invite Dr. Riddhi, consultant with me in the Touch Clinic, to take you through the postpartum contraception. Thank you.
Thank you, ma'am. So another important topic we have to discuss today is the postpartum contraception. Now, what is postpartum contraception? Postpartum means the contraceptive methods which the mother after delivery has to follow. Now, ma'am has covered lactational amenorrhea to a lot of extent, but still I like to highlight. Just a minute. Okay, fine. So we have the postpartum contraception. Now, why is it important? Because you should know that you can become pregnant as early as 3 weeks after the birth of the baby, even if you're breastfeeding and again your periods haven't started again. So अगर आप exclusive breastfeed करवा रहे हैं, even then also till 3 weeks or maximum say till 3 months that it is protective, but then you can become pregnant again. So it is very important that you should think about what contraceptive methods you would like to opt after the delivery of the baby. So we have the natural method, which is lactational amenorrhea. Then we have intrauterine devices like we have Coppel-T. Then we have mini pills, which are progesterone only pills. Barrier methods, that is condom and implants. Then we have Depo-Provera injections, and finally we have the surgical methods, that is the sterilization. Coming to the lactational amenorrhea means that as long as you're breastfeeding, it acts like a contraceptive measure. But the failure rate is 2 in 100 women. That means out of 100 women who are feeding the baby, that is exclusive breastfeeding. I'm not talking about the top feed. Like if you are giving breastfeed along with the top feed, that is not an exclusive breastfeeding. So if you're exclusively breastfeeding your baby, even then, 2 out of 100 females, they can become pregnant. But it has its own advantages, like it is universally available, then it is 98% effective. There are no side effects, and you can start it immediately postpartum. Obviously, breastfeeding is very important. It is very healthy for the mother and the baby. Free of cost, then no commodities and supplies required, and it acts like a bridge to other contraceptive methods. Now, coming to the second contraceptive method, that is barrier method. So in barrier method, we have condom, and we have both male and female condom. But you should know that the condom has a very high failure rate. 2 to 15 out of 100 women will become pregnant if you are using condom only as a contraceptive method. And there are a lot of reasons for condom failure. For example, condom, if it is not completely unrolled onto the penis, or it slips out right during intercourse, or it might break, or if you're using oil lubricants along with that, then the condom has chances to break. Then mechanical damage can from fingernails. And if you're using it along with the female condom, I'll come to it later on. Like male condom, we have the female condom also. This is the female condom, and just before having relations, this can be inserted in the vagina. Now, if it is used perfectly, the female condom, then the failure rate is 5%. But if you do not use this properly, again, 21% failure rate. Now, there are a lot of patients who come to us, can we use both the contraceptive methods together? That means the male condom and the female condom. So, answer is no. If you use both the contraceptive methods together, means male and female condom together, it will not improve the chances of not becoming pregnant. Rather, it might break, it might slip out. So, you are having more chances to become pregnant if you use both these methods together. So, those of the parents who opt for barrier method of contraception, you should know that it has got very high failure rate. Next, we have withdrawal method. Withdrawal method means that before ejaculation, the penis is being withdrawn out. But it has been estimated that 1 in 5 couples, that means such a high failure rate, 1 in 5 couples who practice withdrawal method for 1 year will become pregnant. And it's not only they ejaculate, which contains the sperms, even the secretions before ejaculation, जो secretions होती हैं उनमें भी sperms हो सकते हैं, and you might become pregnant. Those secretions जो है they touch nearby your vagina. Next important method of contraception we have are the pills. Now, a lot of patients will say कि pills जो है उनका side effects तो नहीं है baby के ऊपर. So we have two kind of pills. एक तो आती है जिसमें estrogen होता है और दूसरी जो आती है जिसमें सिर्फ progesterone होता है. Estrogen वाली pills हम usually avoid करते हैं till 6 months because उससे थोड़ा सा breastfeed पर effect आता है, breastfeed reduce होती है. But progesterone only pills are absolutely safe. So we have many pills which contain progesterone. Progesterone में कौन से आते हैं? Levonorgestrel, norethistérone. There are different type of progesterones containing pills, and they are absolutely safe in lactating mothers. और जिनके periods शुरू हो जाते हैं, we start from J4 or J5 of periods, which 21 days से 28 days का pack आता है, and you take it for 21 days, and then when you stop it, you will have your periods. और फिर 4th या 5th day of periods से you can restart this mini pill. Now, this is absolutely safe in lactating mothers, but yes, you have to remember taking the pills. Or for यही होता है कि for how long will you opt for the pills? So those of patients who do not want to opt for copper T and all, which is much safer, you can go for mini pills. And if you Google about mini pills, there are a lot of myths like mini pills they lead to weight gain and they lead to hormonal disturbance, they lead to infertility. It is not so. जैसे ही आप कॉन्ट्रासेप्टिव ये मिनी पिल्स लेना बंद करते हैं, the very next month आपकी फर्टिलिटी वापस आ जाती है, so you can again become pregnant. Weight gain पहले होता था, but now this जो latest pills आई हैं, which progesterone होता है, it is very good. It doesn't lead to weight gain. For some time you may expect कि आपको लगता है कि थोड़ा like heaviness लग रही है, but that is because of water retention. Due to progesterone hormone, और जैसे ही आपके periods आते हैं, that water retention goes away, so your weight come back to normal. And hormonal disturbance, it doesn't lead to hormonal disturbance, rather in mini pills it corrects your hormonal disturbance, so you can opt for mini pills which are highly effective. And my favorite one is the intrauterine device, that is a copper T. It is the easiest way for contraception method. Non-hormonal pill I'm talking about. There are two kind of IUDs, intrauterine devices. One is copper T, which contains copper. Second is Mirena. Mirena में क्या होता है? उसमें progesterone होता है. तो Mirena हम उनमें insert करते हैं जिसमें periods बहुत heavy आते हैं जिन females में. And उसका एक role है कि it acts like a contraceptive, but it is mainly for regulating the periods. जिनमें heavy periods हो. But अगर आप wholly solely सिर्फ contraception के लिए चाहते हैं, so we have the copper T for that thing. Now copper T का mechanism क्या होता है? Basically अगर आप ये picture में देखें तो there is a T-shaped element, right, which contains copper wire. इसमें से copper release होता रहता है, and it acts like a spermicide. Plus it thickens the cervical mucosa, और ये कुछ lining में भी ऐसे changes लेकर आता है जिससे pregnancy ना हो. Now copper T can be inserted 6 weeks after delivery. When we used to do our PG time years ago, in fact now also there is like during cesarean या normal delivery की immediately बाद ही copper T insert कर दी जाती है, but उसके expulsion rates are very high. So because uterus will come back to normal size after delivery, so बहुत patients होते हैं जो expel कर देते हैं copper T. So what we advise you is that एक बार 6 weeks हो जाते हैं आपकी delivery को, you can come to us and you can opt for copper T method. अलग अलग टाइप की कॉपर टी आती है, 5 इयर्स के लिए इफेक्टिव होती है, 3 इयर्स के लिए इफेक्टिव होती है, और बेस्ट पार्ट कॉपर टी का ये है कि जस्ट अ 5 मिनट्स प्रोसीजर है, इट इज जस्ट एन ऑफिस प्रोसीजर. आप बेसिकली आते हैं और फिर हम जैसे लोकल एग्जामिनेशन करते हैं स्पेकुलम से, एंड देन वी होल्ड द सर्विक्स, और हम हार्डली 5 मिनट्स प्रोसीजर होता है, वी इंसर्ट द कॉपर टी and then we trim the thread, so you're not able to feel the thread during relations. Then if you Google about copper T, there are a lot of things which might scare you, but like there are very high chances of perforation, कि वो आगे perforate करके abdomen में चला जाता है, या misplaced copper T होता है, then bleeding irregular रहती है, but perforation and all these are like जहाँ पे peripheries पे जहाँ पर facilities नहीं available है, वहाँ पे हेल्थ वर्कर्स नहीं इंसर्ट करते, वहाँ पे देयर आर मतलब they are not expert doctors who are inserting the copper T. So in best of hands अगर आप ये insert करवाते हैं, it is one of the best methods for contraception. Plus कॉपर जी का एक और बेनिफिट ये है कि स्पॉटिंग नहीं रहती है, वो अगर होती भी है तो within 1 month or 2 months it settles down. And एक इसका बेस्ट पार्ट ये है कि it acts for 5 years, 3 years. आपको pills तो it's difficult to remember to take the pills. तो copper T के लिए you don't have to be compliant. Plus जब भी you want to gain back your fertility, you want to plan for second baby, so you can come to us and doesn't require anesthesia. Just we have to like this pick the thread. We just pick the thread with the instrument and we just remove it. So the removal is even very easy and it will not pain you. Just 5 minutes procedure. और जैसे ही आपने कॉपर टी रिमूव कराई है, the next month itself, अभी उसी साइकिल में ही there are chances you might conceive. तो आपकी fertility जो है come back to normal very early. So I have told you there are different types of copper tea. 5 years वाली, 3 years वाली होती है. So as per your desire, you can opt for one of these copper teas. Basically ये diagram है और इस पे दिखाया हुआ है कि copper tea is instilled inside the uterine cavity. So benefits क्या है copper tea के? It is easy to insert. It is long term, obviously 3 years and 5 years. Temporary method. Temporary method means जब आप चाहें कि अगर आप copper tea आपने आज insert कराई है, 4 months के बाद if you want to plan baby, तो आप आके copper tea remove करवा सकते हैं. Pills are difficult. It's difficult to remember, and you might forget to take the pill. And copper teas are highly effective. So side effects are there, but they are less in expert hands, like perforation, expulsion, uncontrolled bleeding. And time of insertion, we advise preferably आपकी delivery के 6 weeks के बाद you can come to us and we can put copper tea. Then there are injectable contraceptive methods. Injectable contraception में आता है Depo-Provera. Injections लगते होते हैं, 3 monthly injections लगते हैं. And this method of contraception is widely being used in peripheries. जहाँ पर आपको लगता है कि जो patients हमारे पास ऐसे आ रहे हैं जो वापस हमारे पास आए हैं ना है after delivery. So in those class patients, we can give the injections. But for patients who are belonging to like जो हमारे पास वापस आ सकते हैं after delivery, we know that they will come for follow up with us. We do not prefer this method क्योंकि इसके अपने side effects हैं. Now, what are the side effects? Most important side effect is osteoporosis. So it has been seen that जो bone की weakness it causes when Depo-Provera injection, then there might be weight gain, menstrual changes, headache, dizziness, acne, abdominal bloating, breast swelling, depression, reduced libido, alopecia. So these are some of the side effects for Depo-Provera injection. Next, another important contraceptive method अगर आप Google करें तो a lot of patients they come to us and they inquire about implants. Now implants क्या होते हैं कि they are inserted below your skin, ठीक है, and they keep on releasing the hormone from there and it acts like a contraception. We have different type of implants like Implanon, Norplant, but they are not yet available in India. तो foreign में तो implants insert करवाते हैं काफी लोग, but India is yet to opt for this method of sterilization. Next important we have is the permanent sterilization, which is the surgical methods where we have tubal ligation. That is आपकी दोनों जो tubes हैं दोनों side की उनकी ligation कर दी जाती है. And another important is in males में या तो vasectomy opt कर सकते हैं. But tubal ligation preferably once your baby is grown up. अगर आपके 5 years plus हो जाते हैं दोनों babies, so then you can opt for tubal ligation method because we never know, life is so unpredictable. So when good temporary methods of sterilization are available, why to opt for surgical method? Because इसके reversal rates कितने successful हैं अगर आप later on life में चाहें कि मुझे फिर से baby plan करना because of any reason. So the chances of becoming pregnant after reversal of tubal ligation are less. So best advisable is you opt for temporary methods like copper tea we have. Those who don't want to opt for copper tea, you can go for many pills, barrier methods. So जब भी आप हमारे पास visit करते हैं, your first visit with us after delivery, हम हमेशा आपको advise करते हैं कि you can opt for these methods of contraception, which is very important because as ma'am mentioned, you will not be even able to come to know and you might become pregnant when you are feeding the baby. So you have to be very careful about this thing. Thank you. So these were two very important topics we discussed today. And apart from this, I would just like to mention about the facilities available with Touch Clinic. I just want to highlight two facilities with us. That is the lab services are available. We have home collection facility. आप यहाँ पे call करके अपनी booking arrange करवा सकते हैं with discounts. And we have SRL labs. तो आपके home pickup service यहाँ पर available है. आप booking करवा सकते हैं हमारे numbers पर. Plus we have home delivery of medications. And वो भी आप medicines भी घर पर deliver करवा सकते हैं यहाँ से. And we have manufactured some medicines like Multivit Diva, and we have our own calcium and iron, and they are specifically for COVID because they are immunoboosters. And if you would like to opt for these medicines, you can call and you can place your order. So thank you. If you have any queries regarding to these topics, please अपने chat box में लिख सकते हैं. We can answer your queries. Thank you.